All right, this is O.16 Identifying Alternate Interior and Alternate Exterior Angles. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this doesn't look quite so intimidating. I'm going to draw myself two parallel lines, and I'm going to draw them horizontally here, and I'm going to cross them with a third line. We call that third line a transversal. All right, so this assignment is not going to ask you vocabulary on this line, but it is important to know because when we're looking at alternate interior angles, so that's the first one we're going to look at. Alternate means if something's alternating, it's switching back and forth, or it's flipping, or it's like you can think of it opposite. Okay, interior means inside, or like an interior is like indoors. All right, so here I'm going to show you two pairs. So pretend we got an angle here. All right, and we're going to call that inside because it's in between the two parallel lines, and then it's going to alternate with another angle on the other side. And both of these angles are in between the two parallel lines. I hope you can see that. And they're alternating because they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So that would be an example of an alternate interior angle. All right. You might also already be ahead of me and notice that besides that one that I just drew, there's another pair of alternate interior angles here. These wider angles. All right. So it's going to be two different pairs. And the cool thing about these, let's draw those first ones there again, is that the pink ones are a little more narrow. Sorry, I'm going to draw this angle. And then the green ones are a little bit wider. But they're going to be congruent with each other. So the green and green are congruent, and the pink and pink are congruent. Okay, so these are angle pairs. Now, the next thing on this assignment is about alternating exterior angles. So instead of being inside or in between these two parallel lines, exterior means outside. So you can think of these angles as away from each other. So let's look for this really wide pink angle up here. Okay. If I'm going to alternate, I'm going to switch to the other side of the transversal, and I'm going to find a wide angle down here. So they're away from each other, they're outside of the parallel lines, and they're alternating. So alternate exterior angles. And then you also have a narrow green one here and a narrow green one there. Okay, and those again are now two pairs of alternating exterior angles. So when I watch students work on the IXL app, I do recommend you try to visualize this, or you can use the highlighter or the pencil, change the color to red, and then actually like kind of trace over whatever angle is being asked for you, okay? So I'm going to clear this, and now let's actually take a look at an example here. So the first few problems are kind of easy because you might see that every answer choice starts with the same angle here. So we're going to start with angle HGD. So it starts on a point on this parallel line. It goes H to G and then to D. So we are talking about this angle right there. All right, so that's an in between the parallel lines, so that's why it's being asked an alternate interior angle. Let me erase that and let me draw the angle here. So H, from H to G to D. So then its other angle pair is going to have to be this one that I'm going to draw in pink. So they're on opposite sides and they're both in interior angles. So it's going to start at C here, down to D, and then to G. So it's C to D to G. So here is CDG, and we had our first angle, HGD, right there, okay? So there are students who would trace over the angle to see it, and there are other students who will just visualize where it is and then know where the other one's expected to be. So there is our first answer there. Let's look at this example. And I'm going to do it the way that I see most students do it when they're in person. So our first angle here is QPN. So we're going to start Q down to P and then up to N, okay? So the question is asking for alternate exterior. So I expected that because if I go to Q, P, and N, it's actually this angle here. So it goes Q to P to N. And so if I want to find its other angle pair, it's going to be this one down here. So there are alternating sides and they're on the outside, alternate exterior. So that starts at R, into S, and then out to U. R, S, U. And there we got our RSU. So it's going to be this answer choice down here. All right. So this is the part of math that's going to train your brain to visualize things, train your brain to see if you can, I don't know, it's confusing, but it's definitely going to train your brain. So that's the point of it. All right, good luck on the assignment.